everybody, and welcome to this week's Reset. And I just want to say, Merry Advent. Advent. What's this all about? Well, Advent means arrival, and it signifies the start of an event or the arrival of a person or a thing. In Christian communities around the world, Advent refers to that 4-week season of remembering and celebrating the arrival of Jesus here on earth. It's a time to reflect on the unexpected nature of Jesus' humble birth and to join in the anticipation that he's going to come. Not just back then, what we read in the Bible, but one day he's going to come again. And he's going to reunite heaven and earth once and for all. You know, when you look at the season of Advent, it's one of the parts of story of Jesus that crosses most denominations. In people from Protestant, Roman Catholic, Orthodox, and other Christian faiths, we find Advent as part of the story. That, although there might be a few specific practices that may vary from community to community, additionally, some people, that aren't Christian, they celebrate Advent as not, without any focus on Jesus, and just seeing it as a tradition, a fun way to count down to Christmas. But we as Christians sometimes even get caught up in that too. We just want to jump right into the Christmas season, and for the most part that's not a big deal. But we might just be missing the part of the Christmas season called Advent. That time that we can just really reflect on the whole process. I think it's probably a lot like Easter in some ways. Without that arrest on Thursday and the full passion of Jesus, the journey to the cross on Friday, and his death, there couldn't have been a resurrection. There couldn't have been an Easter. Well, Christmas is a lot like that too. Without really looking into the whole magnificent purpose that God loved the world so much that he was willing to send his Son from heaven to have a lowly birth, to have a usual birth in an unusual way, in a lowly manger, in an insignificant little town called Bethlehem. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And the many years that I approached Advent and the Christmas season, especially as a church worker, an employee of a church, I started getting a little, mundane with the whole process. The months would roll around, and here we were back in that Christmas season again, and I knew for me, it was going to be more stress, it was going to be more hours, it was going to be more expense. And I started getting that humanistic attitude. Is it really worth it? Well, of course we know that it is. It wasn't that it didn't mean a lot to me. It just started to wear down on me and feel heavy on me. Well, since then, especially in the last 3 years, with what the world has been through, not just Christmas, but Advent especially is really taking on a much more powerful message to me, a much more opportunity to reflect about how much God really loved us and what he was willing to do to send Jesus to die on the cross, to be born in a lowly manger. And of course, one day Jesus is going to become here as king. He's going to come here as king, but at this point, he came to be a servant and to serve instead of being served. Let's face it, God sending his Son to earth the way that he did was a pretty big deal. And just to show up and boom, we're right into Christmas, well, it really isn't, at least for me, the proper time to prepare, and not just with tangible things, but within our hearts to really think about that Advent process. And, we think that things are much worse today than the old days, but, really all we have to do is look at history and look at the Bible itself. There was war, there was death, there was evil, and there was turmoil. And that's why Jesus came in the first place. We look at the world today, and it still needs Jesus. We need to give those that are seeking him the opportunity to see the Advent. It still needs his story, the complete story. Jesus Christ the King, Christ the servant, and Christ the child. He is going to come again. And we think about that in the Advent season as well. Not just his birth back then, but the fact that he will come. So before we say, Merry Christmas, let's reflect within ourselves so that we can share with the world that there is one that is coming. There is one that redeems us. Bethlehem awaits you. Come, thou long expected Jesus.